and that we were going to relocate the office from the UK to Geneva on the lakes of Lake Léman. So once we had board approval, we went through and started thinking about the relocation exercise and how we were going to execute this. Now these are just some sound bites here, guys. The list was as long as this room. But we had to think about staff packages, incentives. What were we going to offer those staff that went from the UK to Switzerland? And those sorts of questions sit within the human resource management area of a business. We had to sell our building in Windsor, just next to the castle there, and buy a building in Switzerland. Organise leases, and that typically sits in the legal department, administration division within a business. We had to think about moving the office. After all, our desks had to move, my office had to move, the files had to move, and that typically sits in around the area of logistics and operations. We had to have the IT department, those wonderful guys in IT like Dave here, think about the servers, moving the servers, the IT system, the phone system, the security system, and that all had to be organised. So there's an area of specialisation within the business around IT. We had to obviously employ new staff when we opened up in Geneva, again human resource. We had to think about the financial cut-off date for the old legal entity being the UK, and the financial opening of the new legal entity being Swissco, a Swiss company, sorry. And those sorts of decisions, those sorts of discussions are handled within the finance division. And of course we had to set what we termed as a go-live date, when it's actually going to happen. We were able to have ecstatically happy employees because, as some of you may know, Switzerland is always, and I do mean always, either the best country in the world to live or the second best country in the world to live, by any survey you want to look at. It is a remarkably beautiful place to live and has everything most people would want. We were ideally located within Europe, and often I'd have breakfast in France, lunch in Switzerland, and dinner in Italy. And that may sound all very impressive, but France was literally a 10-minute drive that way, and Italy was about a 40-minute drive that way, all very close. We were close to our market, so if I wanted to meet with the French MD from the Paris operation, he'd get on a fast train down to Lyon, I'd get in my car, an hour's drive, and we'd be in Lyon discussing what we needed to discuss. So incredibly well located. I'm glad that when you all put your hands up saying you were interested in business, there were so many of you, because business is the most exciting area to be involved in. And if you think about it, business touches each and every one of you every minute of every day. And corporations with management and employees are there providing you products and services every second of the day, just about. So think about it. When you wake up in the morning, and you have a shower, eat your breakfast, turn on the power, there are corporations with management and employees, like you guys, 5, 6 years from now, that are there making it possible. When you go to school, jump on the bus, get in the car, hop on a train, there is management and employees and companies standing behind each of those products and services to make it available to you. When you come home and you play Grand Theft Auto on your PS3, which all of you do, no doubt, turn on the TV, the computer, 360, whatever. Again, there are companies with management and employees just like you, standing behind each of those products and services to make it possible. A bit repetitive, this isn't it? I'm keen to keep going. Have dinner, eat your dinner, drink, turn on the oven, open the fridge. You get it. There are companies with employees making that possible for you to do that. When you start breaking it down and start thinking about all the products and services that are made available to us as consumers, the list is never ending. And finally, when you go to sleep at night, jump in your bed, pull up the sheets, wrap the blanket around you, put your head on the pillow. There are corporations with executive management, middle-level management, and employees just starting out in their careers, making all of those products and services. It's safe to assume, I guess, maybe not so safe to say it is, that I always had a very directed focus on what I wanted to do with life. And I often thought, wow, if I could be the head of $1 billion business, wouldn't that be swell? All those privileges and perks that come with that. So I was very focused on what I wanted to do. What I used to do was imagine that my career was a little bit like a river flowing downstream. And I needed to get from the left bank to the right bank so that I'd end up exactly where I wanted to be. Because let's face it, if you've ever seen a river flowing downstream and you hop in, chances are you're going to be swept downstream, end up on the right bank in totally the wrong place and not where you expect it to be. So I would imagine my career and my life a little bit like a river flowing downstream. I don't want to bore you, I'm going to go quickly here. And then I'd put little stepping stones across this river. And each stepping stone would represent for me a set number of objectives or tasks that I needed to complete. And it might cover a 3-year, 5-year period of life. And then the next stepping stone I would take, once I'd completed those objectives, would have another set of objectives attached. So that when I personally got to the very end, I was exactly where I expected to be. The number of times I've recounted this story to very senior directors is alarming, because not enough, I believe, planning about what it is you're passionate about, what it is you really want to do, takes place. You need to think about this and have a conscious thought and use the river analogy if that helps. So you might say, well, Dr. Dunford ran a big company, retired a couple of years ago, why are you here? And that's a fair question to ask, I'll ask him. Well, I'm here because I'm on my final stepping stone. Mind you, I'm going to rewrite the list now and put a few more stepping stones at the end. And then this final stepping stone, part of it was to lecture at a first-class, world-renowned university. And I'm honoured and privileged that I'm actually a sessional lecturer here at ACU National. And it's wonderfully rewarding for me to be able to intertwine the academic understanding and learning with the corporate reality, and often brings about great debate in the class. I'm here obviously, my final step is to sit on some company boards, which I do, which is wonderfully rewarding, and to lose weight. What's funny about this, lose weight, is that that's been on every stepping stone since day one. I don't know what it takes, but I just can't seem to get that one down. It's about the only one I haven't been able to get down. But I'm not going to give up, that's the main thing. So if anyone's got any tips for me, please share them with me after the presentation. So, in closing, the university asked for the impossible. They asked me to provide to you a one sentence that summed up everything I knew. That was almost too long, one sentence. I thought that. Very, very difficult. So I guess this is my parting message to you, and that is never, ever be afraid to challenge the status quo. So thank you very much. Enjoy your day, and I'll see you all later.